And as far as kind of what you're working on or what you're excited about right now, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm doing a bunch of wildly different things. So I did sculpture and installation work when I was at York, and that was great. And while being here at Akin, I was able, because I suddenly had the space, I was able to do plaster casting, slip casting, mold making. And Akin has the kiln and the whole ceramics program. So that has really influenced the kind of work that I make. I mean, if Akin didn't have a ceramics program, I'd be doing something else.
That's pretty amazing. Hey?
It's pretty amazing. But I've always, I think my art practice has always been really influenced by whatever environment I'm in or whatever materials are around. When I was at York, I had access to a big wood shop and welding, and so I did metal and wood sculpture because that was available, and bronze. So because those things were available, I did them. And some artists, I think, are more dedicated to a particular craft or medium, and I'm absolutely not. I'm completely like molded by whatever environment I happen to be in at that moment. So for that reason, I started like collecting things like waste or scraps, or because that's the environment I'm in. I see things and I collect them, and so I started making like installation work out of whatever things I can find. So up there, I don't know if you can see them right now, but those are some wooden sculptures made from construction waste. So they're part of a bigger project that where I made wooden construction waste into kinetic objects, so that they could. So the idea being that they would give you the sense of the aliveness of the matter of the waste itself, so that to remember that waste is just what we call it when it has power over us instead of us having power over it in a way, right? Because at the moment that it becomes waste, it gains more power. Now we have to serve it, as opposed to it being useful construction material for our purposes. Right? So it's this like flip, this moment of the flip where agency, and there's like whole theories about the agency of matter, which some people reject and some people accept, and that's fine. As an artist, your job is not to make people reject or accept things, right? It's to open up ideas and thoughts, or feelings. So anyway, so I was like playing with that and exploring that idea of the aliveness of matter. And then lately, that has turned into some more installation work with, right now, with an environmental group called Environmental Defense, and they asked me to build an installation out of about 10 to 12,000 plastic water bottles. So I did that, and then because of that, I've been 2 times in the last 2 days asked to do other ones, and then I'm building another one for Pride weekend. So that kind of like construction of sculptural installation out of waste is continuing, which is great. And then I do slip casting, and I do like selling some ceramics. I have some cups and things here that I made.
Those are great.
I do. Doing some slip casting work and sculptural casting work, like these pipes made with slip casting.
Oh yeah, those are awesome.
Thank you. So yeah, so those are clay. So I made molds of key clamps. You can see the like the lettering there, the key clamp lettering in there, made in England.
That's kind of an amazing detail, isn't it?
Yeah.
Getting that little bit there. It's very effective.
So these I was using putting weeds in them to kind of play with the idea of these infrastructures. So I mean, these key clamps are specifically used to make temporary infrastructure. So just playing with that idea that all of what we build is temporary, and that the weeds will always come and they'll colonize and take over. So I've had installations with these full of just locally found, gathered plants
Yeah.
growing out of them.